I'm setting up my daily pages and my weekly pages to use in my 2023 planner in OneNote, but there's just one or two details missing. I need some icons. Today, I want to show you how I'm going to take some icons from PowerPoint, save them, and use them in OneNote in my digital planner. So stick with me. Well, hi everyone, I'm Crystal from A Crystal Clear Life, where we focus on planning, organizing, and living a more simplified life. And today I am busy setting up my daily pages for 2023. Now, there's some cute things that are missing from the daily page that I've been setting up, and I finally figured out what it was. It's missing some icons. You know, those cute little symbols for different types of weather or how you're feeling that day or something like that. So I wanted to add some of those in today, and I wanted to take you along on the journey because I think some of you might like to add icons to yours as well. Maybe this is a new way for you to do it. Okay, let's jump right in and I will show you what I'm talking about. All right, you can see here on my screen, this is the daily page that I used in 2022. This page is from DCP Digitals, and you see it is one big graphic that has the timestamps on the side, priorities, food log, hydration, self-care, today's mood, today's energy level, a section for to-do and finances, and then a great big notes section. There were a lot of things that I loved about this particular page, and some of those things I want to carry forward into the page that I am creating for myself in 2023, okay? Now, while I was looking at planners, I also happened to find another planner that I really liked as well. Let me show you that one. So you see here, I've brought this up in Edge, and it is a PDF. And you can see there are a lot of things that are similar. You know, it's the schedule, the priorities, the to-do list, that kind of thing. Over here, they also add a food log, which I think is kind of cool. And then a woke up at and how many times or how many hours I slept, hydration, mood, and there are those weather icons I was talking about. I think they're really cute. I like that, okay? And then a section down here for notes. So again, taking ideas from all of these various planners that I really like, I want to build my own daily page in OneNote. And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to use some of the elements from PowerPoint. So let's jump into PowerPoint and I will share with you how to use those icons. Okay. Now you can see that I am here in PowerPoint, and this is a file that I have been using for the design of my background. So let me show you the background that I'm using. And this really is simple and easy to make. It is a series of rounded cornered shapes up here. So you see I have this rectangular with rounded corners, black as the background, and then a white one on top of that to represent the paper. And then all I did was put a thick dark line down the middle and two other lines to look like pages. Let me scroll in and show you what that looks like. Okay, so you can see down here at the bottom of my page, I have the rectangles. I have one line here, one thick line in the middle to represent the space in between the pages, and another line on the other side to represent the edge of that page, okay? And then I just put the disk graphics in top of that, and that is what gives me that notebook page look. Now, I could do other things to this. I could add a seamed line around the outside. I did play around with that on one that I was putting tabs on. So you can see up here, again, let me zoom in a little bit. You can see the dash line up here. I made it a different color so it would stand out for you. All of those details are great and they work fine. I decided I didn't need all that. I just wanted to go with a very basic black outline notebook, okay? The cool thing about creating something like this is if you want to change your notebook from time to time, you simply can go in and change that background color, that background rectangle, to a different color. Here I've turned it purple, and now you have a purple notebook. So the possibilities of creating these things in PowerPoint is endless. That's not really our focus today, but I did want to give you an idea of how easy it is to create a notebook-looking page in PowerPoint. I'm going to start on a blank slide because what I'm here to talk to you about today is some icons to put on that blank page to make it look a little more interesting. Okay, now let's start with those weather icons. If you go up here to your Insert tab, there is a selection that you can choose that says Icons. When you do that, it will bring up the icons that it has, and you can actually do a search up here. If I do weather, you will see all of the weather icons that are there come up, okay? So what I did is I went through and picked the ones that I liked for my notebook, okay? I wanted a sunny one, so I said I want the sun, and I want partly sunny, and I want cloudy, and I want rainy, and I could have snow falling from the ground, but I think I'm just going to choose the big snowflake. And I think that will be it for now. 5 seems like a good number. So when I do that, it brings all of the icons here and stacks them on top of each other, okay? And what I can do at this point is if I want to make them smaller or bigger altogether, I can, and the proportions will stay the same. I am simply clicking and holding my left mouse button and dragging the mouse back and forth to make them bigger or smaller, okay? All right, now I'm going to click off of them because I want to start arranging them. And I am going to put them, let's see, I'm going to put the sun first. And I love in PowerPoint how they give you those guidelines to show you that things are lined up. So you can see the top and bottom guidelines there. And then we have our cloud. And then we have our rain, okay? All right, so that looks good to me. But what I can do now is I can hold down my Shift key and select each of those icons, all right? And I can go up here to the Align menu, and I can have them align to the middle, and you see that kind of straightens them all out so that they're aligned in the middle. And then you can also go down here and distribute them horizontally, meaning that the spacing between each one will be perfect, okay? So I don't have to sit there and fiddle with getting them exactly the way that I want them. I can just use the features that PowerPoint has to do that for me, okay? All right, now if I like this order, that's perfect. If I wanted to add something else, I could, but how am I going to use this in OneNote? That's probably what you're wondering. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to Group, and I am going to group all of those things together, okay? So now they are all linked together as one graphic. And I'm going to make a copy of that. And just to show you, I'm going to paste that right there, okay? Now, if I can paste it in PowerPoint, guess where else I can paste it? You guessed it, OneNote. Let's bring up OneNote and let's work on that. Okay, so what I've done is I've split my screen so I have PowerPoint on the left-hand side and I have OneNote, a blank page, on the right-hand side, all right? So this graphic that I just created in PowerPoint, I am going to cut that and I'm going to bring it over to my blank page in PowerPoint and I am going to paste it in OneNote. And there you see, it is in OneNote. I'm going to pull it out of its container and I can then adjust it, and you see that it keeps everything exactly the way it was. The proportions are correct, the spacing is correct, and all of that. All right, so now if on my daily page I wanted to have my own weather icons, I could do that. All right. Okay, What else might I want? Well, I liked that, wake up time and how many hours of sleep. So let's take a look at something that we could use for counting hours. So I'm going to go back over here to PowerPoint, make this bigger so you guys can see. I'm going to go to icons again, and I'm going to look at numbers. And you see here, I have two sets of numbers. I have light numbers and I have dark numbers. Well, I think on my pages, the light numbers are going to work better. So I'm going to choose all of the numbers 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you know what? Just to make this generic, I'm going to go up to 10. Not that I ever get 10 hours of sleep, but I might want to use this for something else as well. And so again, you see in PowerPoint, here come all the icons. They're all the same size, they're all the same proportion. And now all I need to do is spread them out and get them in the right order. All right, so there's number 6. And there's number 5. And again, those guidelines, the top and bottom guidelines that appear there on the screen, help me know that I'm organizing them in a good way. Number 4. I don't have to worry about horizontal spacing. I can just squeeze them in there. And there we go. Okay. Now, this is kind of a test because some of these are actually overlapping. So we'll see if it works this time. All right, let's choose them all. And let's go back up here to align, and we're going to align them to the middle. And you see them all kind of shift around a little bit. And then we are going to line them, distribute them horizontally. All right, there you go. They are nice and close. Now, if you don't like that and you want a little bit more space between them, because I have these overlapping here, you certainly can click on them and move them, making sure they're all lined up and not touching. Oops, let's get him back in line. All right, now let's try that again. Align to the middle and align horizontally. Okay, that's a little bit more space in between them, and I think that looks a little bit better. To my old eyes, they start to blend together if I do too much at one time, okay? All right, so let's select those all again. And we have all 10 of them, and we are going to group them. And remember, that puts them together so that they are all one graphic now. We can say copy, and we can say paste, and there is the graphic. Now, again, we can cut this, we can take it over to OneNote, and we can paste it in OneNote. And again, there it is, a great big set of numbers that I could use for, oh gosh, I could use for, maybe how many steps I take, or how many hours sleep I get, or what my energy level is, or all kinds of things. I can think of all kinds of things to use for a set of numbers 1 through 10. So I'm liking this. I'm thinking this is a pretty cool idea. Okay, let me jump down and show you some of the other ones that I made. I'll show you my messy played with page so you can see that. And then some of the others that I created and took over into OneNote. Okay, so here's my messy kind of working page. You see I have my numbers 1 through 10 there. I liked this alarm clock icon, and he is by himself. He's just an icon by himself. I also liked the steps because I'd like to record how many steps I take. And then for finance, I made these two for money. I like to count how many fruits and vegetables I eat a day, so I came up with a series of 4 different fruits. There was not a lot of vegetables to choose from. but that's okay. I know that this represents fruits and vegetables for me. I also like this one down here, which is, for me, I'm going to use this as sunrise and sunset. All right. I also thought this moon was pretty. Maybe I could use that for when I go to sleep at night. There's my weather set. These are my moods that I decided to use. So I have happy, silly, sad, angry, and upset. And that's going to be my moods, I think, for this year. You see here I have two different sad ones. I couldn't decide which one I liked the best. Anyway, I also did some hydration, 8 dots there, or 8 drops of water there for hydration. Okay? Now, how do those look in OneNote? Let's jump over to OneNote and I'll show you that. Okay, so what I did here in OneNote is I went ahead and I copied those graphics in. You can see it's just one big graphic now, and I wrote the word mood next to it so that if I was searching for something, I would be able to find exactly what I was looking for. I did the same thing for weather, so there's my weather graphic, my hydration graphic, my wake up or sunrise, my bedtime or sunset, my sunrise or sunset alternate, an alternate set of icons for that, my 1 through 10 and my sleep hours, my steps and my 1 through 10, notes, and my fruits and vegetables, okay? So those were some of the graphics that I liked and I wanted to play around with putting them on a page. So let me show you what I was looking for on my January daily page to use some of these icons. Okay, so I started here on a daily page playing around a little bit with, where I'd like to put my weather and that kind of thing, where I'd like to put my mood, where I'd like to record my steps and my sleep time, my fruits and vegetables, my hydration. Again, just playing around with different placement of things on the page. The nice thing about these being graphics is you can simply click on them and move them wherever you would like, okay? And you can make them whatever size you would like, all right? So I thought that was good, but you know me, I kept playing. Let me show you what else I did. All right, let's jump back to PowerPoint. So another thing that I wanted to do in PowerPoint is I wanted to implement their SmartArt. They have some beautiful things in the SmartArt department. If you've not done anything like that before, I'm going to quickly show you how I created this particular set of icons, basically, that I can use in my notebook, okay? So let's go to a new page. Let's add a new slide, a blank one, so that we have space to work. All right. I'm going to go up here to Insert, and I want to do SmartArt. Now, if you've never played around with SmartArt, there are some really cool diagrams and things that you can use in here. All right. I happened to choose this one, okay, for the items that I was setting up. All right, and as you can see up here, you can change the colors to whatever colors you want for whatever theme you picked. I think I picked this one. I think I picked this one. Okay, so once you have this chosen, you can type in text here if you wanted to. I'm not going to. I'm simply going to put a space there because I want these colors, but I want them left blank because I'm going to put my icons on top of them. And actually, I'm going to go over here and use the gradient or this subtle effect so that they're a lot softer because I think that looks a lot prettier. Okay. Now what I can do here is I can go in and look at this circle and I can choose what style I want. And because I wanted them to really pop on my page, I wanted that circle just to stand out with a dark circle around it, okay, like that. And then I'm going to put my icon in there. So let me show you again the finished one. So you see I have that dark circle with the icon in there. And I actually did 4. This one only has 3, but you can add another one. It's not a big deal, okay? All right, so, but the other things that you can do here is if you're looking at different styles, you can choose a different color And you can see here as I hover over the mouse what that color change does. And there are all kinds. You can make it transparent. You can make a gradient kind of thing. You can get really fancy and make some beautiful things with this. I'm just going to do all of these as the same basic outline. And then what happens is you see this little picture here that allows you to insert a picture. You could put it from a file, a stock image that you wanted, an online picture. But in this case, today I'm talking about icons, so I'm going to use that icon. Okay, and let's see, I want to do water. So I'm going to type in water, and it's going to show me all the waters that they have. And I think for hydration, because I drink out of a water bottle that looks very much like that, I'm going to use that water bottle. So I can choose that one. And then what I can do is I can go back up to those numbers that we created, and I can click on that. Nope, I don't want numbers. I want the water drops. I can copy that, and I can bring it back down here, and I can paste it and put it right on top there. Make it bigger to fill the space the way I want it to look, like so. Okay, isn't that cool? That looks pretty fancy. All right, now let's see. What did I do for the second one? Okay, my steps. So let's go in here, and again from icons, and we're going to type in the word steps. And we're going to get some feet. I want these dark feet. And they're going to come in, and then I can go and get my numbers because I do thousands of steps. So what I'm thinking about here is being able to count the number of steps that I have. So I was planning on using this as like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 steps to represent how many I get. I don't need to know the exact number. I just want to know that I made it to 8,000 steps or that I made it to 9,000 steps. I could always do half a circle if I get, I'm kind of in the middle somewhere. Okay, and so you get the idea of you click on that, you add the icon, you put the numbers on there as you want, and then you get something that looks like this. So I did the feet and the sleep, number of hours of sleep, and the fruits and vegetables. Okay, now I want to show you how to take this fancy graphic and put that in OneNote as well. So I'm going to click to make sure that the entire graphic here is highlighted. Okay, and that's these colorful lines and these icons and everything. But then I also want to go in and make sure that each one of those individual graphics is highlighted as well. Okay, so I have all of that selected. All right, I'm going to right click and say copy. Well, let's just go right back to OneNote and we'll put it directly into OneNote. Okay, so here's my OneNote page. I'm going to paste it right here. Here it comes. And there you have it, okay? So there's my hydration bottle, my steps, and all of that. It is now one big graphic, so it will stay together. If I want to click on those numbers and pull them out, I cannot do that, okay? But I can make it bigger or smaller, and I can place it wherever I want. Maybe I want to put it over here, and cover up. Maybe I don't want these simple black and white things. Maybe I want it to be something that matches my theme for the month that I'm using, okay? I can do all of that in PowerPoint. I think that's pretty cool. So let me show you what I actually came up with for my daily page. And you guys can let me know what you think of this idea. So here is my daily page, and this is what I was thinking about for the month of January at least, maybe tweaking it throughout the year, but I kind of like this idea. So I have, the date up here at the top, and then I have a place for sunrise and sunset As a gardener, that's important to me. I also have a place for the weather, and I can either color in what the weather is or circle it or underline it or something like that. I have a box here that I can put the temperature in, the high and low temperature, okay? Then underneath of that, I have what cleaning zone I'm working on for that week. And I have a link to my cleaning list, and I have a link to my restocking and projects for that particular cleaning zone. What that means is things like if it's bathroom cleaning week, that's when I go in and restock all the shampoos and toilet papers and, you know, all of that kind of stuff, restocking in that particular area. All right. Okay. And then I have a daily schedule. This is another box that I created in PowerPoint, and this is for my top priorities. So you see here I have 3 boxes with the numbers 1, 2, 3, and then I have a text box that's actually a table over top of that for my 3 priorities for the week. Mood and energy is listed here. Because I'm a GTD person, a getting things done person, what I look at for my priorities for the day is I look at what the weather is doing, what things I need to accomplish, what my energy level is, what my mood is, and all of that comes together to help me understand what would be best for me to do that day. So having all of this kind of right here in this area on my page, I really like that because it really helps me set the tone for the day. Then I have a space here for my daily to-dos that I would like to get done. I have things that I do on a routine basis, and then I also have room to add extra things down here. So for example, because this is a table, when I get to the bottom, if I need to add more space, I can simply hit the tab key and more rows to that table come so I can add more things to my to-do list. This was an idea that I got that I really thought, and it was from Heba, and she does a lot of bullet journaling and using rubber stamps and stuff in her journals. But what she was talking about is how she likes to have one big word of the day to kind of represent what she did that day. And I thought that was a great idea. So I'm kind of putting my word of the day here, a little box for that. This particular day that I was playing around with happened to be a creative day because look at all the things I created. All right. Then I have a place, of course, for my projects that I'm working on and the prayers that I have for people for that day. And then on the second page or the second side of the spread, I have a big space for notes and musings. I have a food log up here. Here is that graphic that I just created in PowerPoint for my hydration, for my steps, for my sleep, and my fruits and vegetables. I think all of that kind of nutrition and health and wellness goes well all over here in this one corner. Then I have space for an inspirational quote or something like that, a beautiful decoration sticker or something like that. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. And that's a quote from Theodore Roosevelt. A place at the bottom to track any finances, and then my daily wins, my gratitude, what I did for self-care, and what my biggest challenge was for the day, okay? Now, you might be asking yourself what this blank space over here is for. Well, that might be for a photograph of the day or just another place for me to log interesting information that I might learn during the day. I'm sure I'll find some way to fill it up. Anyway, today I wanted to really show you how to create these cute icons to add to your planner, to add that extra little pizzazz and personalization to your planner. I think it's really cool. PowerPoint is really easy to use. If you're not somebody that uses PowerPoint, maybe you use Google Slides or maybe you use Apple Keynotes. I'm sure the functionality is very much the same. And try it out. It might work for you there. In fact, if you do try it out and it works, let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know in the comments what you think about my daily page for this upcoming month, and what do you think about using these icons? Remember, I always love to hear from you. I get the greatest ideas from you, the greatest questions from you, and some great inspiration as well. Well, if you've learned anything new today, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. A like really is the best compliment that you can leave me. And if you haven't thought about it yet, please think about subscribing. Remember, subscriptions are free, doesn't cost you anything. And I would like to say, as we start out the new year. I am so incredibly grateful for each and every person who takes the time to watch my videos, who takes the time to leave me a comment or send me an email. I really appreciate that. And we are really developing a wonderful community here of OneNote users, planners, people who like GTD, all of those kinds of things, people who are looking to get themselves organized and live a more simplified life. And you know what? That's my wish for you. So here's hoping that you can live a more organized and simplified life through better planning. I use OneNote. Until next time, okay, bye. It's getting dark in here.